Drawing time with Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck. Drawing time with Mr. Chuck here at Renzi. Drawing time with Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck. Drawing time with Mr. Chuck. Get your pencils. Drawing time with Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck. Drawing time with Mr. Chuck. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, it's me, Mr. Chuck, and we're going to draw some stuff today. You know, we're all, everybody's kind of stuck at home because of the Rona, but all the kids that went to Renzi, took my class, they know me, Mr. Chuck, and maybe if you don't go to Renzi, I'm Mr. Chuck, and we're going to draw today, but what we're going to draw is something special. I'm going to show you perspective. Now, I'm going to draw a figure, and then I'm going to show you how to draw a figure from a worm's eye view or a bird's eye view. Are you ready? So I'm going to ask you to go get a pencil. But before you pause, I'm going to say pause. When I say pause, I want to make sure I'm in a really cool tableau. That I look really cool while the video's paused. So wait for it. 1, 2, 3, pause. Did you get your pencil? Okay. Did you get some paper? You didn't get paper? Okay. We're going to pause it again. Make sure when you pause it to go get pencil and paper. All right. And pause. Did you get the pencil and paper? Okay. Well, if you didn't, maybe you'll just remember all this. Maybe you'll get it through osmosis. All right. So first, we're just going to draw a basic figure of a woman. Just kind of straightforward. All right, so here's an arm, and here's a figure. She's wearing a pretty dress, and there's another arm, and legs. She's wearing a cool belt. Got hands, and a head, and hair. Okay. All right. So, wearing a cool bracelet. Anyway, belt. So, that's pretty much a figure. It's just like you're looking at her from straight forward. But if you want to draw a bird's eye view, meaning like you're looking from above, here's a trick to do that. First, you got to draw a V, right? So you're going to draw the head, but you're going to draw the head the biggest, because that's what, if you were looking at it from above, that's what you would see. And so you would draw more features because you're seeing her close up. I didn't give her a face over here. Now she's got a face. All right, so here's a nose, here's eyes, and here's kind of like a chin. And you draw her shoulders all the way up here because you'd see the shoulders. So you're like that. So you'd see the shoulders, and you show the arms coming down like this, just like over here, but they've got to fit within that V. So, and then when you're drawing her skirt, it would be like in a curve coming down, and her legs would come all the way down like this, because they would be the smallest thing you would see because you're looking at it from above. So, and you'd also curve the belt down like this. Let me make her hair look cooler. So you see, that's a bird's eye view. It's like the same kind of figure, but you're seeing her from above. Got it? So the opposite of a bird's eye view would be a worm's eye view. So a worm's eye view would be looking up from the bottom. Like a worm would see. If a worm, I don't think a worm has eyes, but if a worm has eyes and it was viewing things, it would view things from the bottom up. So let me erase this. Do you like my theme song, by the way? The Mr. Chuck, Drawing Time with Mr. Chuck. I wrote it when I was riding my bicycle on the way over here. And I kind of want to make some K-pop choreography to go with it. I need some more lyrics. So far there's only 3 verses. But I think it could be a hit. So let me make sure it's nice and dry. Okay, so if you're doing a worm's eye view, remember when I drew the bird's eye view, it was a V. So if you're going to do a worm's eye view, you've got to draw the V upside down, like that, okay? So if you're looking at her from below, it's the opposite of what we did before. So you draw a tiny little head up here, draw her chin, her nose, can you see that? Then draw her neck, then draw the shoulders like this. And the further you go down, the bigger it gets. It follows the line of that upside down. Yeah, I guess it could be like a volcano shape, if you need to call it something, like a volcano shape. So draw her hands. And instead of, remember how I did the curve down when I showed her belt line? It would be a lot closer up, so you'd make the curve go up. So there's her cool belt. And the hem of her dress or skirt would go like this. And you draw the legs like this. Let's give her some cool go-go boots, like a superhero. And the legs would be bigger, and the feet would be really big because you're seeing her from below. So that way, that like the worm would be down here, and you're seeing a worm's eye view. Get it? Okay, so that's perspective. That's how to draw the same person, but drawn from like below and from above. Now, I'm going to do a little foreshortening. So let me wipe this off. DeMarco wrote his name on here a long time ago with some kind of pen, and we've never been able to get it off. Curse you, DeMarco! Okay, all right. So, foreshortening is a way to show dynamic, it's a good way to show action in a drawing. Jack Kirby, the king of comics, was really good at foreshortening. So, here's a good example of foreshortening. If I hold my hand next to my head, it looks about the same size. But if I hold my hand out here like this, my hand looks a lot bigger. And that's a way to show that my hand is coming towards you. My head looks really tiny, and my hand looks enormous. But the way to do that is you draw a basic shape, a head. Here's an arm. So some people think that if you're going to draw, they don't understand foreshortening at first, and they want to draw the hand like the same size as the head. And that doesn't really work because it looks like it's going like this. But with foreshortening, you draw the hand like this. And you can really tell it's a lot closer than the guy's head. It's like going, stop, stop, stop. So if you ever want to draw somebody saying stop, foreshortening is a really good way to do it. Well, that's it for today's drawing lesson here at Renzi Arts and Education Center with Mr. Chuck. So we might do this again sometime. I hope you learned something in drawing so that you can draw. So, that's all for today with Mr. Chuck. Mr. Chuck, Mr. Chuck. That's all for today with Mr. Chuck. Ha, 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 ha.